reactivate it and come back in this way, because if you come back into that papilla point, you just sent it south. So we're doing a couple things. And you'll see how this tissue, watch how this tissue looks too after this CO2 laser, because even with diode, and I've had diodes, I've had them all, I don't get the tissue reaction that I do with this, okay, and the predictability. I want to be doing it all today. Okay, ready, gentlemen? And operate. Go ahead. Yep. I'm putting the tip, I'm actually touching the tissue, but I'm putting the tip where I want it to start adjusting this. These teeth, by the way, see that pencil again. Centrals, we're going to do something here called the zenith, but let's split these teeth down the middle. Okay, so we're going to talk about a zenith. So we're going to drop this, see if we can get the symmetry a little better with these two front teeth. Go ahead. Right here, distal to the midline. Right there, Richard. You can see it, and Stacy. I'm making an apex point here. It's not a perfect Gothic arch. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look like that. All right, it's not a perfect Gothic arch. Right here, you put this apex right here. Now let's feather it up. Drag it right to the contact. Pull through. Okay. Good. Get rid of these little tags. You see how I keep it in one area? I don't windshield wipering it back and forth. Okay. Hey, Buzz. One of the, could you get them to get me a water, please? A water to drink bottle. Okay, so let's watch. Now we're going to go through this now. Now laterals, pretty much the apex stays right there in the middle. Stays right here in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to sweep right through the interproximal. And notice this little whisker right now. You know, and you see how this tissue now doesn't have a wedgy look? A wedge piece like this? It's slenderizing. So let's do this one here. I'll show you what I mean. Open up this mesial. Okay. And canines can be distal to the midline, but here I don't really need to take this up much. Remember, here's my line. So I'll just come around there real easy. But look how opening this mesial here looks, that tissue looks less. Now let's go back to dropping this one down a touch. And that whisker, these whiskers are important. You can see they don't burn. You can't do this with the diode. Those little pieces burn. And if they burn, they go south. You'll get a blunting. All right? So just doing what we did there and opening that up, like Buzz said, that looks a little nicer. Huh? Bulky. Sweep through there, and we got that nice little point.
Are you staying in the sulcus the whole time, or are you touching the edge of the tissue?
Question is, am I in the sulcus, or am I pushing on the tissue? I'm actually I'm just touching the tissue. I'm going underneath maybe 0.5 millimeter, because I know, especially like on this one, I want to go. So I just know I can push that into that tissue that far, and it just evaporates it away, see? But what I wanted to show, see the pinkness of the tissue and what's been done. Now turn to the right a little bit, or to the left, yep. See this tissue here? Right through here? This looks pretty much a lot there. So let's bring this one, let's just clear this one a little bit. And this is just creating the framework for the prep now. You're going to notice me doing a lot of two-finger stuff. And watch how where Gingerland sits and where she stays. Part of this, too, is allowing Gingerland to just stay in one place and not have to be bouncing around, following me. Yeah, India egg, question is, will India egg do the same thing? It will. But you got to watch out for your energy. Right. This only cuts at 1/10 of a millimeter at a time, actually. Totally controllable. If you need to do more, you can do a little more. But at least now you're in the ballpark here. I think we can take this one up a touch more. All right. Okay, at this point I'm done with this sword. So we'll just slide it out of here in case I need to do some troughing. But just on this now, what she has, it's quite different now, isn't it? You see that? I mean, you can actually see 8 now. And we're gonna get some rehydration back too. So
we'll do the freedom later.
Yes. I don't like to do it now because I don't want inorganic material getting fine dust getting up in here from the prepping, and if there's silver amalgam and all that yucky good stuff.
And then how about again the diode versus the Deca? The advantage of the Deca versus the diode laser.
Yeah, personally I like it from the standpoint of speed and the predictability of the tissue afterwards. So those are important in my world. And I had the diode, and Nikki, my wife, she had bought a practice, and so I was like, well, here, I'll give you the diode. And she didn't want the diode because she wanted the Deca. It's like when you step from one to the other, it's totally different worlds. So there's difference in cost too, but this thing does so much more, and those questions Grant can answer for you. So let's get going. So I'm ready to prep.